Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions, if not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Sorry, I said first of all. Thank you, Chan. First of all, I said it helps if you add yourself to the screen. Apparently, it also helps if you turn on the microphone. And I was saying that I apparently have forgotten how to work the YouTube. But it's even worse than I thought, right? Ugh. So I hope you can hear me now. So I got it turned on at least. Anyway, it has been forever. Oh, I also said that I look like crap because it's storming here, like lightning and thunder and everything, and I wouldn't go take a shower or, dry my hair or anything because I don't wanna get electrocuted, so this is Susie looking like crap, but I don't care. I'm happy I'm here. So, anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody that's here. I am really so excited to be back. It's been almost a week. I have missed you guys. Like, I haven't hardly even talked to Mischief. I mean, on a few um just messages and stuff, but I have like not talked to anybody hardly at all for almost a week. First of all, I lost my voice, and then that kind of cleared up. That was kind of short lived. I was doing like the warm compresses and warm teas and all that stuff, and it seemed to help quite a bit. And anyway, so then I went to my rheumatologist and got 2 shots and a new medication for all of my multitude of of the word just went out of my head. But anyway, uh autoimmune. There we go. All of my autoimmune problems that I have. So, and I also just saw that I forgot to water my orchid yesterday. So, anyway, yet another thing I forgot. But anyway, so I took my medicine that night, but that would have been Thursday. And when I got up Friday, the room wasn't just spinning, it was like jerking, like it would just suddenly like and stop fast, just like boom. And I don't know, I just kept falling over. Like I fell over onto the bed. I'm trying to get to the bathroom without peeing my pants, to be blunt. And I get past the bed. I've got these two little, I don't know, they're old pink chairs at the end of my bed. And I fell over onto those, and then I stumbled and hit the dresser and the door to the bathroom. I was just like a pinball machine bouncing around. It looked ridiculous. And finally, Mark was like, "What is going on in there? I need help." So, yeah, this is Susie. No, it's not. But anyway, I feel like I have a cat hair on my face or something. I think I got it. But anyway, it was a mess. And so, this was like at 6:30 on Friday morning. Yeah. And so, anyway, I called my doctor and he was out of the office for the day, but I talked to his nurse and then she called back like twice and she had talked to him and so she was like telling me stuff and then he actually called later in the day. So they were worried, but we figured out it was just a an allergic reaction. And so yeah, I I laid in bed Friday, I laid in bed Saturday. Sunday I got up and went to my mother-in-law's. We were having like a taco luncheon. I can't miss Mexican food. So we went for that, but I basically just sat there the whole time, and if I got up, I got dizzy again, and then I came home and went to bed. So I'm up today, and I feel a little bit dizzy, but not bad. Just every once in a while, it gets a little bit dizzy. So there's my, you know, my little miniature violin story of how sick I've been. I've actually felt fine. Oh, you scared me. Oh, you're soaking wet too. Go lay down. Max is in here like wallering all over me, and she's wet. No, you must have got caught at Vetta's and came home in the pouring down rain. So anyway, no, I actually felt pretty good. I felt fine at the first part, other than I couldn't really talk, and then I felt fine as long as I sat completely like this, completely still. I could move my eyes, but if I moved my head, it was a mess. So yeah. So you can tell today I'm back bobbing my head around like drives me insane, but I'm trying not to look at the camera. So I'm trying to look anywhere but at the camera. So actually I'm trying to look at the camera and not at the screen. Oh no. Yeah, time warp. Yeah, YouTube's in a time. I don't know what it is. Even my sister-in-law said that she very rarely gets my notifications anymore. And she was like watching all the time. So I don't know what it is. I YouTube is a pain in the butt. And I have got to figure out how to turn off these notifications. I don't need a notification on my screen every time that somebody emails me. Hey, John, good to see you. I am going to check in with my chat real quick. I tried to give it a little bit of time for the algorithm to kick in, and I want to say hi to all of you all, and then we're going to have fun. I'm actually going to make a little confession today, and we'll see if any of you all can join in on it. And I'm going to tell you, my chat are not innocent either, or not my chat, my mods. I'll get it straight in a minute. They are just as guilty, maybe, as me of some things. So I'm going to check in with the chat real quick, and then we'll get started. Okay. Yeah, I said, "If I go missing, it's raining here, and I went to read." Not really. But honestly, guys, if I go missing, it's because right now it's kinda settling down, but we never know. If we lose electric, which means I would lose internet. So if I go missing, I'll probably just catch you back up tomorrow. How's that? So that I'm not panicked, okay? So anyway, Jersey, so good to see you, Jan. I just love it when you all are here. I We've had so much fun today in the mod chat, and sometimes I just wish everybody could be there. I need to start going over to the Facebook little chat thing that we've got because more people are there, so I need to do that. But yeah, we'll have fun here. We'll just kind of repeat some of it. I should have taken notes, and I could have narked on all of you. Darcy, so good to see you. Mare, so good to see you. I'm still jealous. I'm still really jealous. She went to see Nine Inch Nails last night, and I'm so jealous. I say that. I love them. I'm not saying that, but I don't really go to many concerts just because of the fact that I don't like to be around big crowds, and especially in this day and age. But I am jealous that you felt good and happy and. could go and watch something that I wish that I could make myself go do. So, absolutely. Incarnasoul, so good to see you. Love you bunches. So glad you're here. Evie, so good to see you too. Honestly, I feel like I say the same things over and over, but I mean it. So, I mean, I need to come up with better things than just like, "Hi, I love seeing you. Thanks for being here," but it's what I mean, right? B, so good to see you. You're such a pretty lady. I look at your pictures and I'm just like, she is gorgeous. She is truly a beautiful lady. So, anyway, thank you all for telling me about the sound. I'm glad I caught that pretty fast. I actually saw it when I think B said muted was when I first saw it. But anyway, thank you. Oh, I love that you're saying hi to each other. Great. Okay, I love taking a bath in the storm. Yeah, I do too, but I'm really worried about, like, I don't know, my mom just, like, drilled it into us that we were gonna get struck by lightning if we were in water when it was lightning and stuff, but if it's just thundering, yeah. If it's just raining and thundering, I'm gonna be in a tub or something, yeah. I'll even be in the pool, but if it's, like, lightning going, no, I'm out of there. So, hey, Thompson, good to see you too. Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Yeah. He says, "Don't feel bad. I take a list and forget to read it." Oh, I know. I'm really bad about that. Thank you, Mayor. Autoimmune disease. Yeah, I have several in case you didn't know. What's really weird was that I really had very little problem with my autoimmune diseases when I was doing chemo. In fact, they were going to switch up my medicine, but they didn't. In fact, they took me off of my medicine because they didn't want it to be too much. But what my medicine does is it depletes my immune system because with autoimmune diseases, your body sees itself as the enemy and it starts attacking your own body. So, it can do a lot of things. It attacks your joints, it attacks your organs, it attacks your eyes, which is a lot of my problem. Um, it does a lot of nasty crap. But, so anyway, they took me off of the medicine for the year and a half that I was on chemo because chemo does that same thing. And when I was on chemo, I had 0 problems with my autoimmune diseases, like everything, that kind of thing cleared up. And so they wanted to wait until I was about 6 months out from chemo to let the chemo kind of at least sort of work through the system, right, and work its way out of my system. Because as long as I had a year and a half, so it's gonna take me longer than that for it to be completely out of my system, which is kind of cool in a weird kinda way, but they said, "Okay, at 6 months, let's put you back on your medicine." So, the last few weeks, it's been driving me crazy, so I called him, I said, "Listen, we've got to get this done. I am it's coming back. All these I'm having problems with all the migraines, everything that I say, "Guys, I had to cancel." It's usually, I don't know, 99 out of 100% gonna be because of my autoimmune diseases, but anyway, so he put me on this new medicine, and that's when I had the allergic reaction to it, so now he's supposed to be calling. I need to check today and totally forgot, oh, that I needed to check today to see if he called in a new medicine, so I'll be checking that tomorrow and run into the pharmacy, I'm sure. So glad to see you guys. I'm just going back down through here a little bit towards the bottom. John's here. Oh, John says, "Hey everyone, I'm soaked and wet too, but I've been welding 3 hours." Oh my goodness, not fun. I would not want to be working and being soaking wet. That is so miserable. You need to make sure you need to start taking a set of clothes with you. Listen to your older sister, okay? I'm bossing you. So that you can change because you're gonna get like what is that? What do they call that? Like, I know what my dad used to call it. But he would call it galded, but I think it's like when like friction, like your skin on skin, like in your armpits or, your groin or anything like that where the skin rubs or when your jeans or whatever rub on your skin, It could chafing, there you go, I got the word. Yay, I got it. Now somebody else might have said it, but I got it before I saw it. But anyway, yeah, absolutely, you need to take more clothes so that you don't do that. Just listen to me. I'm the boss. Just ask Amy. Yeah. Quiet, peaceful dance, it's good to see you too. Janet from Another Planet, it's good to see you. Feels like it has been there's another stupid notification. Feels like it has been a long time, but it's been a long time since I saw anybody, really. It was kind of out of pocket. Good to see you, though. Yeah, order in the chat. John's going back to work. Okay. You just be listening, buddy. Okay. Nikki Hatfield, very good to see you. Very good. Lori Driscoll, love seeing you here. Yeah, no bathtub in the lightning. That was drilled in. Absolutely, Janet. It was. My parents were like, that's a hard no. Aw. Mare says that it was so fun going with my 6 foot tall grandson while I was using my walker. Yeah, I bet he didn't care. He got to go see a cool band. B says, "My one son has Crohn's, the other son has colitis. Heavy meds, prayers for all." Yeah, yeah, they're gonna introduce all that back to me because I have Crohn's. My sister-in-law has Crohn's and colitis, so we're gonna be a fun couple of people when we go on vacation the end of the month. Yes, I did, Mayor. I still managed to shop. What else am I gonna do if I have to sit still and look forward? I'm just gonna look forward at the screen. It is therapy. Ah, oh boy. Yeah, I understand, Janet. It is very difficult to watch everybody, and especially in the summer, you are busier. Yeah, no bathtub in the lightning. Nikki says, "I love this chat. Everyone is so kind." I know. Yeah. Jersey says, "Mom had colitis. Not fun." Yeah, it's not fun. It is not fun. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Mischief is in the back. So everybody, like, waved to her. I appreciate her so much because she keeps track of, and stars the questions or things that I need to make sure that I read. So that's really helpful. So I really appreciate that. Another stupid my computer did an upgrade, and as soon as anything does an upgrade, then it just starts doing stuff I don't want it to do. So anyway, I'm gonna have to spend some time. Everybody's waving at you, Mischief. I hope you see that. Okay, so today, as I said, I am coming clean, exposing my darkest, best, worst kept secret. Yeah, unless you happen to be my mailman or woman, it's actually a woman, a delivery truck driver, or one of my mods, you may not know, but I am Susie, and I am extremely addicted to shopping. And I laugh, but I'm also worried about it, okay? I really don't want to be that. And so today I'm opening up this discussion. I just want to, keep track of the chat and see if you guys have that kind of trouble too, and or others, and see what we can do, right? See if we can help each other. Because I'm hoping that, for one, by saying it out loud, that it'll make myself more accountable. Like, I'll be like, okay, Susie, if you keep showing up with new stuff or you keep talking about new stuff, you got, how many people, and I'll go look at that, see how many views I've got on the video, and know that that many people know that I'm a big fat shopping addict. So I've got to keep myself accountable, and some of you too, because I was very interested in the mod chat earlier. And yeah, maybe me being brave, and I'm sorry, but I do think it's brave to admit this kind of an addiction. I mean, maybe it's not on the same level as some other addictions, like to drugs or alcohol or that kind of thing, but it's also very debilitating at times. And I'm trying to get a hold of it before it gets a hold of me, terribly, terribly bad. So, but I wanna hear from you all. It's not supposed to be all about me today. What I am wanting to talk about, though, is those addictions that we can't just stop. Um, and I don't mean that, like, you can just stop the others, but what I'm saying is that, like, for people like me that are addicted to shopping, I still have to shop. I'm my husband is the one that goes out and works and all that, and I'm supposed to keep everything in the house that we need at any given time, whether it be groceries, which a lot of times that's just making a list for him to pick up at the store. But if it's non-perishable items, I pretty much get it online. And then or else, I mean, sometimes we do shop at like our neighborhood store for as much as we can, but like if I can get a really good deal on something, then I'm probably gonna get it there, because I can buy in bulk for things like toilet paper and that kind of stuff and get a better deal. And no, I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm worried. I'm just talking about this is what makes it so difficult is that I still have to do this shopping. We still have to have clothes. We still have to have medicine. We still have to have everything. And so that gets me shopping, and then sometimes I have a hard time just not, like, going, "Oh, well, that's cute," or, "Oh, wow, that's a good deal, buy 2," you know? And then, like, "Oh, well, if I buy 5, I get 3 free," or something, it just goes on and on and on. And so I'm being honest and knowing it, like people that are addicted to food. Now, I'm not a small girl, you might would think that I'm addicted to food, but I'm really not. It really my weight issues that I have now are mostly from either medication or some of my autoimmune diseases. I eat very little. If anything, I'm like the opposite of food addicted. But there might be somebody in the chat or you might know somebody that is addicted to food and they can't just stop eating. So, unless you're in that who was that? Michelle Pfeiffer that was in that cult that they believe that you could survive on, like, air and water or something like that? I've looked into it, but I didn't end up doing a show on it, but I might have to just 'cause, it'd be funny. But anyway it's kinda scary, right? That there's people out there that have starved to death thinking they can do that, and plus just, like, anorexia and all that. So, we really have to figure out ways, and I'm sure that there are other things that you just can't just literally stop doing just because you've figured out that you're addicted to it. So I wanna talk about that a little bit, and we'll talk about anything. If you wanna talk about any kind of addictions, we'll do it, but I do kind of want to bring up those kind of addictions today. So, I'm just gonna kind of talk a little bit and I'm gonna go to the chat. I think what really brought this home for me, like, I've known for a while, I've said little things my nose is itching like crazy, sorry, guys. But, I've known for a while that I really shop too much, that I don't always buy, but I'm always shopping. I might have carts at every store that you can imagine that I would go to. I mean, I say that, but there's 4 or 5, mostly Amazon and Temu. And anyway, I have these carts open and I'll take stuff out, put stuff in, buy stuff, take stuff out, put stuff in. It's kind of an ongoing deal. Yeah, you're right. It is a dopamine rush. It feels good. That's exactly it. And my love language is gift giving. I don't really care about receiving gifts. I mean, I love gifts, but I don't like I feel loved when somebody like gives me a gift. I'm not saying I don't. But it doesn't like give me the joy that giving something to somebody else does. And it can be something like a pack of mints or anything. I'm sorry, I've got to not blow my nose, but just scratch it. Oh, goodness. So anyway, I really do. I feel absolute joy in giving gifts, and I can afford to do it. I'm not, destitute or anything. Um, I just want to stop how some people doom scroll. Well, if I'm bored or stressed, I scroll through whatever store that I've decided that I need to look at that day. I might not buy everything that I put in my cart, but I buy too much, and I want to do things that take away from the urge to go shop. And I never shop in stores, it's always online. So I'm blaming COVID because that's when it started. I used to just never really like to shop at all, but now I do shop too much online. But so anyway, back to what brought it on was, a lot of little things, but this weekend when I really couldn't do anything, but I was starting to feel a little bit better, um, I had Mark help me gather up all my makeup from all the drawers in the bathroom, everywhere, my vanity in the bedroom, everything, and makeup, skincare, hairspray, shampoos, body, perfume, body oils and lotions, all that. Okay. Anything that like is a cosmetic type thing. And I brought it into the bedroom, sat up on my bed with all these boxes piled around me and went through it. And I kept anything that I really wanted to keep, mostly except for a couple things that I I don't I accidentally gave them away. And instead of saying, "Oops, I gave this away when I really didn't mean to," I just went and ordered more, which is a definitely it's definitely a problem. So I'm being so honest, y'all, and I can just tell there's gonna be some haters that'll be, "Did you hear?" You know, but I think that's how we help people is by opening up, and I'm hoping that it'll help me too. So if it helps somebody in the chat and it helps me, yeah, I could fix you up, Mischief. She says, "I own 0 makeup." I could fix her up. Not so much now, because I'm not kidding. You might need to sit down. Especially John, he'll be like, "What?" You know? John Lazan will be like, "Don't talk to Amy, don't ever she can't ever visit you, she's" But anyway, I gave my 2 daughters and 1 granddaughter 3 2-gallon Ziploc baggies full of makeup, almost all of which had never been even opened. Now, that's hard to admit. But, okay, before you, like, call in some kind of an asylum to come and get me and Mark to come cut up my credit cards, a lot of that was accumulated over the last year or so, year and a half, year and a half, 2 years while I was having chemo and was bored and shopping entirely too much and probably don't even remember some of it. But what happened was, as I got on a couple of different deals, like Ipsy, I don't know if you all know what that is, but it's like this subscription thing, and they send you makeup and body care stuff every month. So, yeah, a lot of it came from there, and it would be not like sample sizes, but like a travel size or something, and some of it would be full size products, and you get it at a way better deal and all this stuff, and so I did that. Some of it was things like, perfume that I like, but, I mean, I think I only gave away, like, 3 bottles of perfume, but it wasn't, like, really expensive perfume, I kept those, and then, uh, it was just stuff that, like, I like it, but I'm gonna wear these others, and I already paid for this, and I don't want it to get ruined. So I sent it to my daughter, and she was like, "I like it." And I'm like, "Okay, good. Y'all can have it." So there was a lot of that kind of stuff. And whenever you think about it, full size products, especially skincare and all that, they take a lot of room. So it wasn't quite as bad. Let me, step that back a little bit, right? So anyway, it wasn't quite as bad as what it looked, but it was still incredibly bad. So I also and I've yet to go through this, but as I was, emptying drawers and having Mark help me and emptying all these boxes because I said just load it in boxes and bring it to me. So I was also separating any kind of like hair bows or not bows, but like barrettes because y'all know I wear a lot of barrettes and headbands and all that kind of stuff. And so I have 2 of these big 2-gallon bags full of, like, costume jewelry and, oh, all my hair stuff, my, barrettes and headbands and stuff. Now, I am gonna tell you, now some of that makeup was cheap ass stuff that I bought whenever I was doing those Immature Emma parodies, and I was not gonna use my good makeup to, imitate somebody that didn't know how to put on makeup. So and I paid for that because I had allergic reactions to that too. So anyway, there's that too, and I said, "You can even, like, if it doesn't, make Betta's face messed up or whatever, it's like eyeshadows and blushes and stuff." I said, "Let her play with it if she wants to." So, that kinda thing. Ooh, big O thunder. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Oh, the dogs don't like it. Uh, ooh, anyway, so yeah, Jersey says she has an entire drawer full of scrunchies. I believe it. I used to have a lot of stuff when my hair was longer, but I gave that away, so but anyway, so yeah, I have those 2 bags that I'm probably gonna try to go through sometime this week, if I have a day when I'm not as busy as I am the next couple of days, but yeah, I'm gonna go through that and give away a bunch of that stuff too. A lot of it's just earrings and stuff because I love those cheap, like, dollar earrings from Temu that's, like, got aliens and all kinds of stuff. So, anyway, you know, my daughter loved some of those, so anyway, granddaughters and everything. So, anyway, yeah, that's what got me started. I am gonna go look at some of the starred comments and kinda try to pay attention to the chat. So, y'all just, like, give me hell if you want to, hold me accountable, tell me your stories, tell me what you do, what you're addicted to, how you're gonna fight it, and all that. Oh, I wait a minute, before I go to the chat, I do wanna read these. There's 6 things that I got with a whole lot of research that's supposed to help. So, we're gonna look at these, and then y'all can answer to those 2. So, how's that sound? I forgot I had them. So, number 1, understand the root triggers. Identify emotional drivers. Are you shopping when you're bored, anxious, lonely, seeking a quick dopamine hit? Mine is bored and anxious. Absolutely bored and anxious. Track patterns. Keep a small log for 1 or 2 weeks. Write down what's happening right before you feel the urge. Time of day, evenings, people you're with, even smells or sounds. And separate want from need. Ask yourself, am I doing this to meet an emotional need or a practical one? And I've been really trying to do these already, like some of them that I've um because I was doing the research on this. And I really do. My bad time is late at night. And the rest of the time I'm pretty good. But late at night and if I'm bored or stressed, that's what it is. It's not like I'm alone usually or Mark's asleep, and I'm not doing it while he's asleep to hide it. He brings the packages in. It's not like I can hide it. I mean, I could if I snuck out. Well, he does the checkbook too. So, I can't hide it. But yeah, bored and anxiety and at night, usually at night. Now, I am really bad about like if Mark says um the other day, example, he said, "You need to get we need a new pool cover." And I like the one that you got from Temu better than the one that you got from Amazon. So guess what that sent me to do? It sent me to Temu, which I had not been on in days. And I found, it took me a while to find the one that I wanted and everything. So I, put that in the cart. Well, then of course, other stuff kept popping up. And so, I bought a few other things. And that's what happens is, like, I'm either at night and I'm bored and I can't go to sleep or whatever, or somebody says, "Oh, we need to get this." Mark will say, "Oh, we need this or that," or I'll think, "Oh, man, I've gotta go get deodorant." So I'll get deodorant and then I'll think, "Well, Mark probably needs deodorant." Well, then I get that, and then I'm like, "Well, what about toothpaste?" So, which are all things that we need, but I counted them. I counted them in 1 week. 1 week. Not even a full 7 days. I bought 6 tubes of toothpaste, different kinds of toothpaste, because they said that this one was whitening, or this one says that it helps the enamel, or this one says, whatever. And they were, like, stuff that I saw online. So I've really been trying to stay away from Facebook as much as I can because I'm addicted to that. I'm not Facebook, but the stuff that they show on Facebook, I'm like, "Oh, well, somebody on Facebook's talking about it. It's gotta be the truth, right?" And so I end up with, 5, 6 tubes of toothpaste. Yeah. So, anyway, there's that. So, set hard external limits. You can avoid food or buying anything, or you can't avoid food or buying anything, but you can build friction into the process. For shopping, I cannot talk. For shopping, use a 24-hour wait list, write it down, revisit it in a day, and buy only if it still feels necessary. That's a good idea. I mean, I kind of do the same thing with putting it in my cart and then coming back to it, but see, it's already in the cart. So maybe if I just wrote it down. Oh, guys, my allergies. Ugh. Anyway, so it says unsubscribe from marketing emails, unfollow temptation, heavy social media accounts, use prepaid cards with set budget so you physically can't overspend. For food, use portion prepackaging if you decide, or so you decide how much that you want to. Hold on, what's it say? Yeah, you'll eat before you're hungry. That's true. Avoid keeping high trigger foods in the house if possible. Yeah. Oh gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. I feel terrible just sitting here scratching, but I think it's this rain. It's washing all the crap off the trees. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. The write it down and not in my cart. Keela, stop hitting add to cart. Me and Kayla, right? Now I have unsubscribed from a ton of marketing emails, and I'm gonna go in and do even more. So, because you know how, like, if you buy anything online, they start sending you emails and all that. So it's a constant deal. You got to keep doing that. And I do need to unfollow temptation heavy social media accounts. I really do. I don't know about the prepaid cards. I'm just like, it's probably a good deal. I don't know. I just, it just sounds like a lot of trouble. I never know how much I'm gonna need because I don't know what I'm gonna be called on to buy. So, and as for the foods, absolutely, these pre-portioned deals, if I was addicted to food, that would really help me and I do that now. I buy a lot of, like, pre-portioned things, only cook what we're gonna eat in one meal kind of thing, except for when it's, like, chili or soup, and then I go crazy, spaghetti, lasagna, that kinda thing. And we don't keep a lot of high trigger foods in the house, we just don't, but I do have some, and when I know if I know I have okay, like, I love chocolate. If I know I have 1 candy bar in the house, I'm good with it, and I probably won't eat it. But if Mark buys, like, one of those packages with, like, 6 candy bars in it and says, "Here, this'll last you for a few days," like, yeah, until I eat one every single day. Where I would skip several days if I only had 1 before I ate it, right? But if I have 6, I'm gonna eat one 6 days in a day, or 6 days in a row. So, anyway, so this one, replace, don't just restrict. This one made sense to me. Swap the same reward feeling with something less destructive. For shopping, substitute thrifting for fun. Yeah, that's my problem, is that I love swapping, you know, I love thrifting. I It's not the amount I'm spending so much as the amount of time I'm spending. Swapping clothes with friends, browsing wish lists without buying, or spending that urge time doing a hobby that feels rewarding, painting, music, even organizing something. That's what I've been doing. That's where I've been painting. I'm still trying to get all of the mailing addresses for all my mods because I painted them cards that I want to send out. And I'm starting to paint the Christmas card, so if any of you all want a Christmas card that's hand painted by me, that's not great, but it's fun, email me your mailing address. I promise I won't give it to anybody, and I'll even, send you a card, and it'll have mine, so you can trace me right back. So, yeah, I've been trying to do that kind of thing. Now, like music or something, if my hands are not physically busy, like painting, then I'm scrolling. If I'm watching a movie that I love, scroll. If I'm, sometimes when I'm reading a book, I'll have like, there'll be a little iPad over here and I'll still scroll or I'm telling you, I have to be doing 2 or 3 things at a time. I just really do. Um, yeah, food substitute, if it's emotional eating, replace binge triggers with comfort rituals that don't involve food, like a hot shower, a short walk, calling a friend. I'll do all those things, but I'd probably still be eating if I was hungry, and I, will do all those things while shopping because it sounds like they would ought to be good for shopping too, and it wouldn't work for me. I'm struggling, y'all. Build accountability. That's where I'm at. I'm on number 4, building accountability. Let one trusted friend know your goals and give them permission to check in on you without judgment. I'm telling all of you that are here my problems, and I want to, like, try to, like, every few days, like, every week or 2 weeks or something, kind of, like, go over stuff that where I screwed up, because I'm going to. Like, I told myself the other day, "Don't buy anything else for vacation. You don't need anything." Well, I showed my sister-in-law this really cute pair of Brooks tennis shoes online yesterday, and she loved them, and she bought them. And then I wanted some. So I could not justify buying them. I couldn't do it, so I didn't. Until I went on eBay and found the shoes that I wanted for less than half price of what they were in the store, and they were new. Well, the girl said that she tried them on and walked around the room, but they were just too big for her, so she took them off. So, I mean, that can happen in the store. So, you know, I felt pretty good about it, but still, I don't need the shoes, but I'm gonna have them in a couple days, they'll be here. So, yeah, use spending trackers or food journals that visually show you or show your progress. This triggers the brain reward system differently than the addictive habit. That might be good. I don't know. That's another thing I'm gonna work on. Professional help. That's probably what I need. I need a behavioral therapist, especially those trained in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, or DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. Those are great for breaking compulsive cycles. I might look into that, like more than might. Like I really might. I might talk to. I have a therapist that I talk to occasionally. I don't like have a steady appointment, but I do talk to her. And I might see if she does that kinda stuff or if she could recommend somebody that does. So, number 5, treat it like it's a health condition, not a moral failing. See, that's my problem is I really feel like a failure. I really I beat myself up so bad for it. Like, when the packages come in, I'm just, like, pissed that they're coming in. I mean, a lot and it could be that it's toilet paper, 1 tube of toothpaste. Some shampoo. It can be all that kind of stuff. It's stuff we need. But I'm just to the point now that I feel bad about it no matter what it is. So, I mean, I actually was thinking about just turning all the purchasing power over to Mark, but it's like he already does so much. But this is kind of the one thing that I can do to help. And I got to do it right. I've got to get myself under control. This is not something that was ever an issue before. And it's honestly it got bad during COVID, and then it kinda slacked off, but then it's kinda gotten bad again because of chemo and all that. I was bored and stressed. And again, I'm really not trying to make excuses. I'm trying to just be honest. So, self-compassion is critical. Yeah, dopamine-based addictions to everyday things still rewire your brain like substance abuse does. The brain doesn't care if it's cocaine or clicking buy now. Yeah, and I don't think my brain cares if it's toilet paper or Brooks tennis shoes. It honestly I get the same, charge out of it, and I don't mean, pardon the pun kinda deal, but I get the same, dopamine hit whether I'm buying toilet paper or those Brooks tennis shoes. Like, I just enjoy the search for the best deal is my biggest problem. If I could just search and not actually buy, maybe that'd be alright, but I just don't think that it's, healthy to just spend all that much time, literally searching shelves online. So and have an emergency plan. When you really feel the urge, delay for 15 minutes. Do a small grounding action, like drink water, step outside, listen to a song. Ask yourself, what will this look like for me tomorrow? It'll look like I got a new pair of Brooks tennis shoes in the mail. If it's still strong, call your accountability person or revisit your long-term goals list. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Poor Mischief. She's probably gonna get a lot of phone calls because she's the person that I go to with everything and be like, "I don't know what to do." And she's really good about being nice or kinda chewing my ass out when I need it too. So, anyway, she's just sitting back there being good. She's sending me kisses back at you. Plus my mods. I'm honestly going to depend on all of them, to help me, and I wanna help them too. And I wanna help any of you all that can, that need it, that I can. So, anyway, so that was all of those. Now I'm gonna go to the chat. I'm telling you, it's like I forgot what I'm doing. Mare says, "I'm a semi-hoarder. It's really hard for me to get rid of stuff." It is not hard for me to get rid of it. That is the craziest part. Like, I was telling my daughter about this, it's been months ago, that Mark. Okay, so Mark is kind of a hoarder too. We're both kinda bad about it. But Mark, he hoards everything because okay, so, I'm trying to see if I can find it. Just pretend like this side of the paper has words on it and this side doesn't, okay? He won't throw this away because he can use this side for scratch paper or something, and he does that with everything. Like, I was cleaning out some of the boxes when we got married and he moved into our house. I was cleaning some of the stuff that he packed and brought in, and I found I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. This blew my mind. Those little papers that they'll use in an office that says, this person called and then it says will and you can put called back or you need to call or here's their phone number, whatever. He had tons of those. Most have just said we'll call back, or we'll send email. And they were years old. I could understand it if it had somebody's phone number or email address or mailing address or anything on it, but no. It would just say we'll call back. Like he saved them. And I'm not talking about 5 or 10. I'm talking about a few hundred, like 300 of them. And he does that kind of stuff all the time. He won't get rid of anything. Me? I mean, and he buys a lot too. Me, I'll buy it, but if you come over and you go, "Man, I really like that. I really like your little earbuds. Here, you can have them." You know? "Oh, look at my closet. I got it all cleaned out." "Oh, wow. I like this. You can have them. Or I'll just go in and be like, "I haven't worn that in a little bit. Off to Goodwill." I don't care to get rid of stuff, but I just keep buying it. And so that can't be healthy either. Yeah. Yeah. Mischief says we still have to shop and we still have to eat. Absolutely. I know. That's a big problem. Jersey says if I didn't have medical bills to pay down, my addiction would be a lot worse. Yeah, when I was having to pay for a lot of chemo related expenses, I didn't shop a whole lot then. I really didn't. Thank you, Mischief. Grocery shopping isn't nearly as much fun. No, and the thing is I don't go grocery shopping. Mark does that other than if it's stuff, non-perishables that I can get online. Just a quiet, peaceful dance says, "I'm not allowed to do any or to go to any craft store. The family will pay me down when I come through the door." Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Like, they're like, "Mm-mm. Yeah, pat me down." I was thinking that you meant pat me down, but yeah. I thought, well, maybe it's like some kinda saying that I don't know. Yeah, Indigo Twin. Good to see you, by the way. Says chronic illness and medication are tough with weight gain and weight loss and all that. Yeah, it is. I'm right there with you. So many of us are. So many of us are. My everything that they give me says, one of the side effects or whatever, weight gain. I'm like, why can't I get one of those that says your ass is gonna lose some weight? No, that never happens. It's always weight gain. And I'll be like, not eat like the other day they gave me 2 different steroids, right? Poor Mark. I just stayed in the other room and wouldn't talk because I knew I'd probably chew his ass out for nothing and eat everything. Jan says, admittedly, there are 2 sets of markers in my shopping basket on Amazon. Yeah, I'm really bad about art supplies, and right now I'm doing all these cards, and so I did just order, and this is so stupid, but there's a reason. I did just order a whole, like, mini set. It was like 72 or no, 48 different colors of watercolors because I'm gonna take them with me on vacation, and I don't wanna take, like, the big stuff, so that I can, like, paint some of these cards in the evenings when I'm bored so that I won't be shopping. So, anyway, but yeah, I did buy those. It's been a few days. They're not here yet, so it hadn't been too many days. Well, they're probably out there now. You'll bring them in later and go, "What did you buy?" He Mare says, "I'm not allowed in craft stores." Y'all, I have a craft room that is full. Y'all come shop my craft room. It'd make me feel good. I get rid of a bunch of stuff, and y'all can feel good because you got stuff and didn't have to pay for it. So, Indigo says, "Addictions are patterns in your brain. They release dopamine, and it can be hard to curb those without professional help. Changing patterns takes time." I'm trying to really kinda go slow and just do that over time. I'm being stern with myself, but I'm not gonna go cold turkey. Lori says, "I have carts and carts for food delivery. I talk myself out of them because I want something for $7 and it costs 20 to get it delivered." Absolutely. Yeah. That was another thing I was talking with my mods about was, um I like to send my mods little gifts, or snacks, that kinda thing. And I've been really not doing it because I have a lot of mods that are from Canada, and when I was looking on Amazon, a bag of chips was $26, and even though I have Prime, I still had to pay shipping, which is expensive to ship from the US to Canada or vice versa. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, like, go buy the stuff that I wanna give them and just make a trip to the post office and just ship it from here so that I can get my own prices. So, see, I'm already planning another trip, but, I mean, this is like I'm not gonna just not do anything. It's harm reduction. Yeah, rid of an old thing, yeah. I heard this on a channel, STOP, stop, think, observe, proceed. Yeah, that's good. This helps me for making rash purchases or decisions. Could help you too. I like that. Stop, think, observe, proceed. I just need to just think stop and just you know. I also do the new donate process. Yeah. 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 Buy a new thing and you have to get rid of something. Yeah. When I get rid of stuff, I might literally buy one thing and get rid of 20. I get rid of stuff all the time. But yeah, I know that is a good process for a lot of people. Yeah, B says, "I ask myself, do you need this or want it? And then I usually don't purchase it. It takes practice." Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to start doing. I really need to get into the need and want cycle of asking myself because that's what it needs to be is I need to know that I can shop for things that we need, but not just, like, buy everything. That's why I love Amazon whoops. That's why I love Amazon's feature of saving for it later. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about now. It took me a minute. I mean, my small collection has primer, foundation, concealer, mascara, eyeshadow, lip liner, eyeliner. I don't do fake lashes and setting spray, but that means multiple shadow palettes. Yeah, indigo. I have all those things. Mark said, "How many black eyeliners do you need?" I said, "Probably one less than however many I have." He didn't get really think that that was funny, and I do. I think I counted 7 large eyeshadow palettes, and I love every one of them. And the thing is, like, with my eyeshadows, I do use them. I use every one of them. It just depends because they like, I have a nude palette and like a plum palette and, those kinda things, and so I got rid of stuff that I'm not gonna use, like, a lot of it that came with those kits, or I'm really good about, like, if you like, on, some of these places where I shop for makeup, it's like if you you get this stuff with a purchase of this, and so I'll be buying something, and then they'll send me these other things, and so it just gathered up. It was just ridiculous, and I feel so much better with it being down, and I have it all organized where things are with their like items and not just thrown in drawers. So yeah, I'm trying, guys, but I need you to like be like, stop it. Yeah, Jersey. I have a thing for earrings myself, but the higher end costume jewelry. Yeah. I like I do have some higher end costume jewelry and I have some real stuff too. But like when we go on vacation and stuff, I don't like to wear my good jewelry because I know I'm going to be where I could get mugged and they could steal it and I can't afford to replace it. Or like I just, if I'm going to be I don't know. If you're going out, like if we go to the ocean or something, and I take it off and hide it in the room, I'm afraid that. I mean, I don't know who the housekeeping is, and I know most of the time they're great people, but sometimes they might not be, and I don't know what just happened with my screen. But okay, Mare says chocolate. I'm seriously addicted to chocolate. Me too. Oh my gosh, yes, indigo. We are just like twins for some reason. I have an addiction to pens. I cannot stop buying pens even though I know I don't need more. But I will make up reasons to get them. I could have wrote that. I could have absolutely wrote that. Another thing that I did with my cleaning out things was I went through and organized and got rid of any pens that were skipping and all that kind of stuff. Cuz okay, that's another Mark thing. I will throw them away, but Mark will see a pen in my trash next to my desk, and he will take it, and if it might have enough ink to write half of a word, then he'll save it, and so that ends up back in circulation, and this is like a circle. We just go through this constantly. So, yeah, but I get you on the pens. I love any kind of office equipment. Like office supplies, like, oh my gosh, like, paper clips, staples, files, highlighters, all that kinda stuff. Now, I don't buy tons of it, but I do have to have it. Like, I just have to have it. Oh, yeah. Miss Scorpio rising. Good to see you, by the way. It seems like it's been a while. M&Ms. I crave M&Ms. M&Ms are good, and my mother-in-law used to always have them when Mark and I were dating, and she hasn't had them lately. I have to ask her what's up with that. I also like Starburst. That's my one candy that I like that's not chocolate. Thompson's laughing. Very funny. Hey, Stacia, good to see you. Uh, yes. Yeah. It is an awful look. Scorpio rising. Just make sure they make it to your mouth and not underneath you when you're sleeping. It's an awful look. Yeah, they say they don't melt, but they do. Stacia says that she is a thrift shopper and a clearance shopper. Me too. I love a bargain, y'all. I don't when I was in beauty school, like, to do hair, I used to do personal shopping. This has been years ago. I was thinking about that this weekend when I was talking to my mother-in-law about this show, and, um, a lot of the girls, like, they just didn't have the time or the inclination or whatever to shop. They just weren't good at it. They would get bored and give up and just buy something, and so they would, like, literally tell me what they were looking for, and I would find it, and I would say, "Here it is," and they would order it or go buy it or whatever the deal, and they loved it, and they were, like, constantly passing me, like, $5 or something. It was fun. I was, like, bringing in some money. Oops. Jersey says, "I'm a sucker for those scam texts with shopping deals. I always feel like crap after, but I do it, but I don't stop to think even before I grab the credit card." I get it too. I get so mad at myself. I mean, and ugh. Like, okay, so on TikTok and Facebook, they were showing this foundation. It's one of those color changing ones where you put it on and it's white and then it mixes with your, somehow or another it figures out what color you need and it'll work for like everybody, no matter what how light or dark you are. So anyway, but it's expensive, right? Those TikTok shops are expensive. So I literally did find it, the exact same thing on um Amazon for like less than 10 bucks. Seriously, it was like 45 on TikTok. So I found it on there for less than 10 bucks. So I bought it. Well, then I told myself, go look on Temu and see if you can find it. And like I looked pictures from one to the other to make sure that it looks absolutely exactly. I looked at the ingredients, I looked at everything. On the Amazon one, the TikTok one, well, I think it was actually on or on Facebook, but it was a TikTok thing. But anyway, and then I went in Temu and found it too for like $2 and something and bought it. So today I wore it, y'all. This side of my face is the Amazon and this side of my face is the Temu, and I can't tell the difference. And it did exactly what they said that the $45 one did. So I don't know. I mean, I spent I think like 12 or $13 total, maybe 12. Well, I mean, plus tax and stuff. Total about $13. So beats 45, I guess. Ooh, Janet from another planet is listening while I water the vegetable garden. Me too, but mine's called rain. It's raining like crazy out there. Ugh. Indigo says that I always unsub from the marketing emails, but I have my specific subs that I do for gifts to myself. Yeah, I get it. I know, and then, like, Mark will tell me, "Just buy what you want." Like, my birthday's coming up, and he'll be like, "Just buy what you want," and I'm like, sometimes that just sets me off because I go buy everything I want. Not really, but kind of. So, I just wish he'd, like, go buy me that one thing that I want instead of me going and, you know, "Hey, I wanna see what this one is." Mrs. Scorpio Rising says, "Faux shopping, it's like a placebo. That's okay, just don't buy." Yeah. I need to do that. See, my daughter actually shares my Amazon account with me because she lived here for so long and we've just never changed it. But anyway, what I need to do is go put stuff in my cart and then tell her to go on there. Like tell myself, okay, you could put stuff in the cart, can't buy it till tomorrow. And then she could go on my cart. Oops, sorry. Jersey's Jan says, I used to stress shop and that method had helped me a lot over the last 7 years, especially since I have hobbies that create and generate stuff. So I try to take a break and think, "Do I need?" That's where I'm at. That's where I'm really at. Is I'm trying to do the whole need and want thing and just slow down. Don't make any sudden purchases. Like I told you guys that one day that, that I decided to buy those garden flags on Temu for my in-laws, and I mean, they're, like, less than $1, but I had shopped, like, all night because I couldn't sleep, it's when I was on chemo, and I was shopped all night long, and, like, the next day I had, like, 300 flags in my cart, which I didn't buy. I deleted, like, all but, like, 12, I think, maybe 15, and, yeah, I had, like, 300 in my cart. I was just like, "What am I doing?" Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's an idea too. I'm okay keeping chocolate in the freezer, but once I open the bag, forget it. Now that's an idea. Because I really wouldn't mess with it. Hmm. I wish I could just eat one a day. If it's chocolate, I could easily eat a case. I know. Me too. I could. I have to like beat myself up with those candy bars he brought in. It's been over a week ago now, and I still have one. I'm proud of myself. There was 6 in the package. And like, whenever I'd take one out to eat it, I would really wanna take a second one just in case it wasn't enough, but I didn't, or if I wanted it later, and I try not to keep it within I try to make it difficult. Like, here in my office, behind my computer, you can't tell, but behind my computer, there's a little 3-door drawer thing, and, like, I'll put them in there so that I don't see them. Like, I have to physically go find them, so that makes it a little bit better. My friend's hubby has a spending pie chart on the PC. She spends $25,000 a year just on face cream and makeup. Whoa, B, I'm not that bad. Mm-mm. No, I don't spend I mean, some months maybe, but I probably on a normal month on makeup and stuff don't spend 20 25 to $50. Now, if I run out of something, I do, and when I do run out, I tend to buy, like, I have this one mascara and it's a Valentino mascara, and I got, like, a little, the not a sample, but the like, a travel size in one of those Ipsy boxes one time, and it lasted me that little one for, like, 2 or 3 months, and I was wearing it every day, and it's the only mascara that I have ever worn that does not clump, does not make my eyes burn or water, and so it's $35 a tube for the big tube, not the little one. You can't buy the little one because 'cause I'd buy the little one if I could. But anyway, I broke down a while back and bought the tube, and I just opened it this weekend because I threw out some of my old ones that are making my eyes water or they run or whatever. I just got rid of them, and they were good brands, not $35 good brands, but good brands, and, from now on, I'm not gonna mess with any of those little ones, and yeah, I'm gonna spend about every 6 months, I'm gonna spend $35 on that damn mascara. But I won't be spending $60 by buying all these other weird ones that don't work. So really, I'm hoping that that will I'm hoping that those kind of things will, limit some of it. So, I don't know. I'm hoping. I don't binge food shop anymore. After giving up a lot of things 6 years ago, my body is happier for it. I imagine so, Stacia. I really do. Yeah. We eat fairly healthy most of the time. We have, our downfalls here and there. Yeah, yeah. Mara says I've been trying really hard to shop local. I found a shampoo in a bar and a laundry detergent in a sheet. They both come in the mail. So does our coffee. Yeah, yeah. I get it. And it breaks like those shampoo bars. It breaks down on packaging too. So it's also good for the planet, right? Yeah. B says, "I'll carry a protein bar in my purse, so if I'm hungry, I can avoid fast food." Fast food is not really too bad for me because it tears up my stomach because of my Crohn's, but yeah, a good cheese enchilada. When I go to town, which I don't go that often, but when I go to town, it's like a given that I'm gonna wanna eat out. But around here, I do keep things like protein bars and cheese and stuff like that, that I can eat to keep me from just eating everything or eating something horrible. In the '90s, I'd hoard magazines. I had hundreds, read to tear out the pages that you want. Good tip. Don't buy magazines anymore. It's free on the internet. Yeah, absolutely. Some of those things are getting smarter and like making you get a subscription, but I used to be bad about the magazines too. Like back in the day, back in the '90s, I watched a lot of soap operas and stuff because there just wasn't that much to watch. And I didn't have cable and all that because I just wasn't going to spend the money for it and couldn't afford it at the time. And so, yeah, I would read like, which makes no sense because probably what I spent in a month's time in magazines, I could have paid for cable. But anyway, I would buy like People and Us and Soap Opera Digest and just read them cover to cover. I would like even if I wasn't interested in something, I would read every single page. So, and then I had a hard time getting rid of them. And then I had a beauty shop, so I'd started taking them up there, and then I would say, "Okay, when I bring the new magazines in, throw the old magazines away so that I don't just keep hoarding them together." Jan, it can be from being dirt poor as a kid. Yeah, it's really hard for me to just toss things. I get that too. And I really do think that a lot of my hoarding of clothes and stuff is because now we didn't want for things. We ate good and all that. But literally I had one, maybe 2 pairs of shoes. Actually, probably not. Probably I mean, I usually had boots because we lived on a ranch and everything, and so then I would have that and, like, a pair of shoes. Sometimes I had a pair of dress shoes that I could wear to church, so sometimes 3 pairs of shoes, and I think that that's what makes me buy so many shoes now, is that I always was fascinated by shoes and love them, and I would just keep buying. And the same thing with clothes, was that I literally had, like, the same, 5 or 6 outfits, and I mean, that might be 3 pairs of pants and, like, 4 shirts, and I would just switch them around so that it looked different, and, but I wore those, every week, like, constantly, and so now that I can afford it, I feel like that has made me bad about buying in excess, and it's just I need to find a medium, like, I don't need to be without anything, but I don't need to be with everything. It's just awful. Jersey says, "I hold on to things for a while, then I get fed up with the clutter and throw it out." Yeah, I do too. Absolutely. Oh, Lord Kisfrick says, "My 16-year-old daughter takes makeup donations." I would send her stuff, but my gosh, it would cost me so much in shipping, but I'm telling you, if I could figure out a way around the expensive shipping, I'll work on that. Yeah. The last chocolate I had was 70% dark, and I shared some and slowly ate the rest. I'm definitely a sugar addict. I never used to be, but I am a absolute sugar addict right now. Yeah, Darcy's when I have chips, dip, or candy, I can't just eat just one. I am big on dips or like cheese balls, that kind of stuff. I love that kind of thing. I absolutely love it. So I try to make it like as healthy as I can so that I don't feel so bad if I eat it. But yeah, I get it, girl. Fresh is always best. I definitely prefer it now. Processed food isn't tempting anymore. Tastes fake. I get what you mean. I don't like it either. We do eat mostly fresh. We really do. Um, there's gonna be those times that we eat something just like we'll have things that are like um for nights whenever I just don't feel good. I just don't feel like cooking or whatever. And Mark needs to be able to put a meal together quickly because he doesn't get home till like 7 or 8 o'clock, sometimes 8:30. And so we have that every once in a while, but really we like the fresh stuff. We love vegetables, both of us do, and And if we have the garden right now, but when we don't, we buy fresh vegetables. Um, we try to buy good meat, so that it's not just, junk, that kind of thing. We try. Hey, Amy, good to see you. John was here earlier. She says, I'm not a hoarder, I'm a collector. Me too. I just collect too much stuff. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. This has really been fun. And I think that I want to do this every once in a while. Maybe not to this degree, but like maybe have just a 30-minute chat sometimes where we just sit down and say, how are you doing with it? Or, I'm doing this or this has worked for me. And do y'all have any idea what I could do with, and just kind of hold ourselves and each other accountable because, the whole thing where they say that you can't take it with you is honestly so true. And, I was thinking the other day that my house would be really clean if I didn't have just so much junk that just clutters it up, right? And so if my house was cleaner, I would be happier. I would be less stressed. And so, I really want to work on this and it's going to take some time. It's not going to all fix itself today or tomorrow, but I am really hoping that I can get better at it and start, I have a friend that she didn't have a ton of clothes, but she had very specific things. Like she had these clothes were her going out clothes. These clothes were her work clothes. This was her, junking around clothes. And for the clothes that she wore either to work or going out, she bought more like quality, over quantity. So she bought nicer stuff that lasted longer, that was very word just went out of my head, but like was gonna stay in style for a long time. Like, and then she could add little things here and there to make it pop and to be more, in fashion or trendy kind of thing. And I'm really gonna start trying to be like that because she really was a good role model for me in that instance, and, like, so when she would go shopping and she knew I can only buy this one thing or these 2 things because it's gonna cost this much money, she only bought that, and she shopped for the very best deal that she could get, or basically I did. I'm gonna take some allergy medicine when I get off of here. But, instead of like if she said I'm gonna spend $50, well, I'm sitting there thinking, "Man, I could get, like, how many outfits or how many shirts or how many whatever for $50." And instead, she went and got 2 things that she loved or 3 things that she loved, and or 1, whatever it was, it just depending on what she was looking for. But I just I have always been a person that I go to excess. I'm excessive about things. Like if I start a hobby, I'm all in. If I like whenever I can, I don't just can enough for my household. I can enough to sell at the farmer's market, bunches and bunches and bunches of it. If I make pimento cheese, I don't just make enough for us to eat. I make enough for my dad and my daughters and maybe the neighbor and, you can take it to work and give it to people there and, that's just how I am, and I've really just got to figure out how to rein it in. And so if that's what you all need, then I really hope that we can help each other with that. Stacia says I can always whip up a salad of some sort and be completely satisfied. Absolutely. I love salads. Yeah, and like a salad with maybe a little piece of grilled chicken or something on it because one chicken breast can split between 2 salads and you've got plenty. But I've got to get back to that. And I really I've had fun and and joked around and stuff, but I also am serious. And if we can help each other, then all the better, right? So yes, timeless. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Mayor. So anyway, I'm gonna go. I will be back tomorrow. We're gonna have kind of a serious one tomorrow. I'm actually gonna answer some questions that were asked me in actual conversations more than just like crazy accusations on Reddit. And I'm gonna answer them because I think they deserve answers. And I'm not talking about being snarky or whatever. I'm talking about real answers because and I've invited some of them to come and listen, so my trolls may be here too, but, I'm hoping that some of the people that, have an open mind show up. But, I told them that I would like for them to hear it from me and not hear it about me, about how I actually feel about some things. And so I'm gonna answer some of those questions tomorrow, and we're just gonna see. Um, I think it'll be interesting. It's not gonna be as fun, but I think it'll be a good one. And then the rest of the week, I think we've got fun stuff. So, because this is the month of finding your joy. So that's what we're after this month is finding your joy. So y'all be thinking about things that make you have feel joy, and we're gonna share those. So be thinking about it. I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mischief. I tried to keep it closer to an hour. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the show, so glad you were here. We meet here most days, we're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all.